Hello everyone and welcome to another one of my Armored Core Verdict Day videos. I'm going to talk about a few things. First off, I apologize for not being able to stream on Friday. I was kind of sick and couldn't really talk or really even breathe that well, so that was not fun. And then yesterday there was a holiday, so everyone was home and there was way too much background noise. Anyway, today I want to talk about, well, before I actually get onto the topic of the video, I want to talk about my recording setup. And I'm going to go back to the old recording setup for now, at least for the Armored Core Verdict Day and for answer stuff, if only because the raw amount of background noise that the PS3 generates completely fucks over the other mic and it makes it sound like shit, in my opinion. And so I'm going to try and go back to the old setup for now because I feel like it's much clearer and there's a lot less background noise for me to edit out and deal with. Like, almost none comparison. So then, maybe I'll get a better mic where I'll figure out something that can remove the background noise of a PS3 fan that's kicking away, not even like 2 feet away. Anyway, if you notice a difference in quality, let me know. If you don't notice a difference in quality and you think the old way is better, then or if this right now sounds worse than how I've been recording some of my videos lately, then let me know, and then I can just change back to the new microphone. Because the new microphone does make things much faster. Because it lets me record using one computer instead of two. Anyway, about this. So what I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to talk about the L11 Fearless legs, the retrofit of those L11 Fearless legs, and the L14 Foal legs. These are Tetrapod type legs, if you notice by the fact that, well, this AC right here has 4 legs. And essentially what I want to talk about is just about the legs themselves, because I'm going to be focusing just on the parts this week. I'll talk about just the legs, and what they're like compared to other Tetrapod legs, what they're like compared to other legs as a whole, what I tend to use them for, what I've seen other people use them for, what they're good for in general. So then, the Tetrapod leg is a leg that is not, despite how varied the Tetrapods are, like as you can see there's quite a few Tetrapod legs here. The Foal is actually that's not the L14. It's actually L20. I wonder what I was thinking when I said L14. Anyway, the Foal is the L20. So the Foal's right here. This is all the way at the end of the list. There's all these other Tetrapod legs up here. There's quite a few of them. Now, yeah, I actually haven't maxed out the thing. Anyway, whatever. So there's quite a few Tetrapod legs, and they're all in one category. So naturally, you start to have you have like light, medium, and heavy Tetrapod ACs, but you don't have light, medium, and heavy Tetrapod legs. They're all the same category, even though they're all very different. So, now as to where the Fearless and the Foal sit on that, the Fearless and the Foal are kind of more in the gray area of the medium, but they're much closer to the light end because of their high speed, lower health, and yeah, just they're above average speed, turning, and lower health. And so the main thing I want to talk about with those is what they're for. So with medium Tetrapods, lightweight Tetrapods can do a lot of things that medium Tetrapods can, but the medium Tetrapods have better armor, so they're a little more useful for like assault type things. And also the medium Tetrapods have really high recoil buffering. And the recoil buffering stat, as you can see right here, is essentially it's a stat that controls how effectively you can use ready position weapons. It's really important, obviously, because it's one of the main defining features of a Tetrapod leg. But it's only important if you're using a cannon. If you're not using a cannon, then you can completely ignore that stat. However, if you're going to use a medium Tetrapod leg and you have this really high recoil buffering stat, I tend to want to build to take advantage of that stat, usually with a sniper cannon of some sort. Although I imagine you probably could use a few other types of cannons, but sniper cannons are usually the ones you use. Anyway, with these high recoil buffering legs. So the light Tetrapod legs can do a lot of like the small arms fire, missiles, and that kind of stuff that the medium and heavy Tetrapods can. But the medium and heavy Tetrapods can do the cannons more effectively. Because while you can use a sniper cannon on a light Tetrapod, it's not nearly as effective as using it on a medium Tetrapod. So if you want to build a dedicated like heavyweight sniping Tetrapod, then you want to make sure you have high recoil buffering. And one of the unique stats about the Fearless and Foal legs is that compared to other like quote-unquote medium legs like this Yamogyo one, they have really high recoil buffering. Now 82 to 91 doesn't sound like a big difference. In truth, it really isn't that huge of a difference, but it makes enough of a difference that if you prefer sniping, you're probably going to want to use the ones with the higher recoil buffering. Now, I also apologize if I sound a little weird. I am still recovering from being sick, and it kind of sucks. But anyway, these legs. These legs, because they're like kind of light, but they also have the high recoil buffering, they kind of fit into a sort of mix of many different roles. Because they can snipe very well, but they also don't have a lot of armor, so they can't just sit there and, you know, try to outsnipe someone. If someone's fighting you at range and they have long range weapons, you're going to want to avoid being hit regardless. And so because of that, you generally won't be just, you won't be staying in one place very long. You are going to want to take advantage of your heightened mobility, even though you're sort of like a heavier sniper. I feel like there's just like something in my throat right now that's really bothering me when I'm talking. This is why I didn't record on, or this is why I didn't stream on Friday or Mondays, because it was way worse then. But anyway, because of the heightened mobility, the Foal and Fearless legs are allowed to kind of do a mixed, like, medium sniper role, where you have a lot of sniper output because you have that really high recoil buffering to do lots and lots of damage, but you also have a lot of mobility to do other things if you need to. That's why for this example build I threw together, I kind of had a mix of weaponry. I picked the arms because they look cool and whatever. Yeah, let me pick a better looking core for this. What's a good looking core for this? Yeah, it looks right. Alright. So, anyway, back to the legs. So, you're a sniper, but you're also mobile. So, you can use short range weapons if you choose, and you also have higher turning than average, which is also good, because like I think these Fearless legs actually have better turning than the lightweight legs. Oh no, the lightweight legs have slightly better turning. Only slightly, though. Because as you can see, even though like this L4B 107 is basically the absolutely lightest Tetrapod leg ever, it actually has more health and more defense. But it has more health and more defense than the Fearless leg, which is actually kind of odd. And that way, in some ways, the Fearless leg is lighter, but they play differently. So like the L4B leg is more of like how you'd play like a traditional lightweight, where you kind of run around and typically use close range weapons. Although you can get way up in the air and just take advantage of speed and just troll people by flying away all the time. Whereas the Fearless legs, I think, are a little bit more stable. Where's the stability? Yeah, stability, like, okay. So they have more stability control, which means they float up a little bit higher. So you can use them for that, which is kind of interesting. Now, the difference in stats, most notably in the turning, or no, it's not even the fucking turning, it's the fucking. And these things are so similar. I forget how similar these things are. It's mostly just the difference in the stability and the recoil buffering, really. Otherwise, they're almost exactly the same. Yeah, because the Fearless is the lightest of the three. If I were to compare it to like the Foal, then the differences become more pronounced. Yeah, that's a little bit more what the point I was trying to make. Anyway, the Foal is like the heaviest of these three, like sort of lightweight, but also not quite lightweight legs. Yeah, the point I was trying to illustrate is that the Full Fearless and Fearless Retrofit have really high speed for their buffering, for the amount of recoil buffering and stability they have compared to the lightweight legs, and that means that you can play them kind of like a truly like a medium Tetrapod, where you have a lot of speed, but you also have some of the benefits of the heavier legs, which is pretty nice. But in exchange, they're also not very bulky. Like, if you look at the Fearless leg, it has very, very low AP for something, for a Tetrapod. Like, if we look at the AC's total health, yeah, the AC's total health is at 35,000. And most of the parts in this AC are fairly light, but they're not, like, super light. Meanwhile, the L4B legs have 24,000, or the other lightweight legs, the L4A legs, have 27,000, which is extremely bulky for how fast they are. So those are more aggressive legs, whereas the Fearless and Foal legs are a little bit more. You have to play more defensively with them, otherwise you'll kind of get wrecked by everything in front of you. Now then, my personal recommendations. I built some really weird builds on these Fearless and Foal legs. They're really fun, but they are weird. Primarily sniping is what I noticed that I was able to do well with these legs. I had one AC that I built that was a heavy sniper cannon on one hand, a shield on the other, and then two sniper rifles in the back. And that actually worked. Actually, no, I think it's like one sniper rifle and one battle rifle or something like that. But that actually worked out really well because I was able to take advantage of the speed with the KE shield to keep it alive for a long period, and I was also able to use the high recoil buffering to get off a lot of initial damage at the start of a match. Because while sniper cannons are really nice to have around when you get to use them, usually you only, unless you're just like amazing, you usually only get to use them for the first few minutes of the match, and then afterwards they start to become really worthless because people know that you're sniping, and they're not going to give you the chance to snipe. Or this also applies somewhat to PvE matches because the AIs are usually pretty aggressive about following you and not letting you get enough distance to snipe. They don't really follow like human tactics where they would get behind cover or stuff like that, which kind of sucks. But maybe someday someone will build a UNAC that plays like a human. That would be scary. Yeah. The Fearless Foal and Fearless Retrofit legs. I think the Fearless Retrofits actually look pretty cool. They're like kind of like boxy front, but whatever. Fearless Foal and Fearless Retrofit legs they all have really high load capacity for how fast they are as well, which allows you to put quite a lot of like heavy shoulder weapons, heavy cannons, heavy back weapons, arm units. Any sort of heavy weapon you can usually fit it on here because if you look at the loading bar, I have a heavy cannon and a fairly decent. Like two of the weapons are lightweight, and there's ammo on the shoulders, which is very lightweight. But I have a pretty heavy plasma gun on the back, so I could easily fit quite a lot more. Like let's say I wanted to put like some missiles on the back instead of ammo. Really, I can speak. Say I wanted to put those on there, that fits pretty easily. Now, if I wanted to put a heavier thing like a Gatling gun, then so let's go for the heaviest Gatling gun. And yeah, again, I can fit that pretty easily. And then if I were to switch out this heat machine gun for a battle rifle, can't quite do that. But yeah, can't quite fit the battle rifle. But the Gatling gun's kind of unnecessary anyway. Anyway. But as you can see, yeah, it takes heavy weapons fairly well. Because it has a really high load capacity. And also doesn't lose that much speed. 280 speed for something with that many weapons on it is pretty decent. Like that's easily catching up with the speed of like heavy bipedals. Now if we were to switch to the heavier legs, which have even more load capacity, then yeah, I could probably fit everything on there all at once. Not that I really would. Tetrapods have so much load capacity that like I almost feel like I can't use it all. But clearly I can because I'm overweight. Excuse me. Anyway, other things about tetrapods that run on these weird ass medium lightweight legs. I mean, the Foal is more like a true medium, whereas the Fearless is kind of like an upgraded light. Meanwhile, the L4B is like the true light, and the L4A is another upgraded light. I mean, the L4A and the L4B play like almost the same, because it's just one has more armor, the other one has more speed. My brain, where is it? Where is my brain? I have a brain, I swear. If I were to compare these to say like the heavier legs, then you could pretty clearly see the difference because the Fearless and Foal legs, while they are fast and they have really high recoil buffering, they also have really low armor. Because the Foal is the heaviest out of the three armors, but even then that's still relatively light armor for Tetrapod. Like if you were to look at say even like the L4A, I'm pretty sure the L4A beats it out. No, not quite. L4A it has very comparable armor but much higher AP. We're looking at the L4A retrofit. That one has better armor. The Ukifune models these are really bulky. I really like the way they look, but they're really bulky. As you can see, the armor is all higher, AP is higher, mobility is much lower, but you get that difference in armor with these Ukifune models. These are really like the heavyweight ones. I mean, the Ukifune 2 is more of like a medium weight one, but the Ukifune 3 is definitely pretty fucking bulky. And then you have this retrofit one, which is just like raw bulk. Sorry about that. Trying to resist coughing, but That was a really super dry cough. Anyway, yeah. These fucking legs, I really like them. They're not like amazables, but I like the way they kind of force me to build weirdly. And weird builds are always the best builds. And put the old build back together. Because I might actually like make a build based off of one of these again soon. Just because I haven't really made a new Tetrapod in a while, because most of the Tetrapods I make are really lightweight or really heavy. The medium Tetrapod is super confusing for me. I can never quite figure out how to do it right. What was I doing? Oh yeah, rifle. Put a rifle in the back. But yeah. These medium Tetrapod builds are really weird. The Foal and Fearless are really good for if you want to have the medium benefits of having really high recoil buffering for sniper cannons, but you also want to move at a decent speed. Whereas there's other legs that are better if you just want to use regular arm weapons because you'll get comparable speeds. Well, I mean, you'll lose a lot of speed, but in exchange you gain a hell of a lot of armor and a lot of bulk, a lot of stability. The Fearless legs have pretty decent stability for how light they are. Because as you can see, my recoil resistance is almost 1500 with like really severely underweight. Like I have a lot of things on here that aren't quite as heavy as they could be, and if I move to the Foal or the upgraded Fearless legs, the recoil resistance goes up. And so because of that, these legs aren't really going to be interrupting the movements, which is kind of nice, but at the same time, like, there's not a lot of things that can interrupt most quads anyways. So, it's kind of a mix-up, really, with the medium weight Tetrapod legs. If you like them and you can figure out how to make them work, they're great. If you try them out and it just doesn't click for you, then, well, I guess you're kind of screwed. So on that note, really all I can say is like weapons that I would use. Since they're medium and they're kind of, I mean, since I tend to use the sniper cannons with these, I usually don't have a shoulder unit. I usually have the extra ammo because I'm really a terrible shot with sniper cannons. If I were to talk about like other cannons, let's look at other cannons. Because you have the rail cannons, which are cool, but they're more of a tank thing, honestly, because they lock on. Regular cannons are cool, but again, they're a tank thing. Auto cannons, cool, it's a tank thing. Howitzers are really like the only thing you might be able to get away with on this. But howitzers are kind of a bitch to use, to be completely honest. Like, hitting with them is really hard. Other cannons, you could lose a laser cannon, but again, that's a tank thing because you have to lock on it anyway. Really, the only other thing that I might suggest, which is kind of like a weird thing that some people use because like they find it fun, but I don't know how effective it actually is not pulse cannons, they look similar, but sentry guns. Now, sentry guns are actually really cool with tetrapods because you can kind of do like this thing where you set up like a trap and you put a bunch of little turrets around an area and you can force people to approach a certain way, but the turrets don't have a lot of health and they don't really hit that hard. And the sentry gun itself is really heavy, but it fits fine on these. I think the ones that I've used the most have been these right here, the pulse gun ones. I usually use these when I'm using sentry guns because I like the way they fire in a spread, and so they're harder to dodge and they tend to be a little bit more of a surprise. And since a lot of people have really low TE defense, these hit fairly hard. The missile ones hit really hard, but they're also really easy to dodge and they're the weakest defensively out of all the missile types. Now, for other like weapons that would really benefit these, since you have a sniper cannon, you're gonna want to focus on KE damage. So you usually want to have something that can break a KE shield. Heat machine guns, they do that. They do that really well. Pulse machine guns do that. Laser rifles do that. Missiles do that. If you're confident in your sniping skills, then I would strongly suggest taking off the reserve magazine and putting in some missiles or something else to make your hand weapons better, like a subcomputer or even like a CIWS, maybe if you're scared of the high-speed missiles or the TE missiles, something like that. You know, just stuff to supplement your playstyle, whatever you feel is comfortable for you. Because these medium legs are so fast, they can kind of do a variety of roles except for tank. The only thing they can't do is tank. You cannot walk up in front of someone and be like, "I am a tetrapod, fear me, shoot at me, your bullets do nothing," because their bullets will do a lot to you. You will be dead pretty quick if you just run at people with a tetrapod like this. Also, I tuned my my sniper cannon for rapid fire because I like how I like the sound it makes when I shoot it really fast. It doesn't really do anything useful, but I like it. Ideally, you'd probably want like a power tune or a power accuracy tune, something like that. Anyway, I had fun talking and slowly degrading my throat and killing it apart for the past 20 minutes or so. And I hope you enjoyed listening to me rambling about medium weight tetrapods and my opinion on the Foal and Fearless legs. I like the way they look. I mean, the only really thing I could have done like a whole video just on medium tetrapod legs, to be honest. There's not a whole lot of them. I mean, there's a lot of them, but there's not like a ton of them. There's not like a whole category of them. So I could have just done it about medium tetrapod legs, but I kind of wanted to focus on these because I like them and I've actually have a lot of experience using them. I mean, as retarded as that sounds, saying that I have experience using them when you hear how stupid I sound. But yeah, these are the ones that I've had the most experience with out of all of the medium-ish tetrapod legs. I don't really have a lot of experience with the heavy ones because I just don't know how to fucking make them work. But I'll figure it out eventually. Eventually I will. And then I'll make a video about it because it will be an amazing revelation. Anyway, so I hope you had fun. I'll see you all later. Another little quick announcement is that I'm gonna have a lot more time to record lately for a temporary period because of my brother going to night school. So while he's busy in the afternoon, I might start experimenting with more video types and recording things. Even if I don't upload them, I want to experiment with different games, different formats, different things to record in the same games. I don't even know. I want to figure stuff out. I want to practice with different things and figure out like recording, optimizing the way that things sound and the mic and all that shit. So hopefully the videos will improve. And if not, you'll see maybe some more videos, some more different types of videos that I'll be doing. So have a good day. Blow the fuck out of everything with your preferred weapon of choice, be it a laser beam of ultimate destruction, a sniper cannon, a missile, or even just a straight up punch to the face. That works too. So blow the fuck out of everything. Have a good day. Play Armored Core, and I hope to see you soon.